So if you'd like to know where we are today, and also in terms of the latency, it's around 5. So where are we today in terms of the performance and latency?
It is actually still the same. That was the, oh, sorry. That was the Stanford test. That was actually done against people who, it's not even just a regular, I want to say human being, it was actually people who are transcribers and translators. So it was even, when we talked about human parity for that, that was for people who professionally actually translate and transcribe. And so that really is the state of the art. And it's not better than that now, but there's not anything even close to that at this point. So it's still the same.
Still the same?
Yes.
And when will be almost zero and then no error? I just want to know milestone when you can achieve.
I'm not sure. I don't know if we'll ever get to zero.
Like a 2020 or 2025 when the 5G ready and you're all already perfect.
I'm not sure how to answer that. I think we can follow up with you on that from Microsoft Research, but I'm not sure that we'll ever get to zero, quite frankly.
And my second question is about mixed reality and HoloLens. Will mixed reality and HoloLens embed the AI function like a voice command in this device in the future? I just want to know if possible. And if it is, and who need to pay it, because current Microsoft charge money if you want to get this kind of service. I want to know if you embed it in the end device, who need to pay the money? End user or like the OEM need to pay money? I just want to know who need to pay this service. Yeah. So 还是我用中文会比较清楚。
So I think if you
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll talk about the commercial options we have for partnership second, but I think Roanne can talk about where we are with extending some of the voice capabilities into HoloLens, which actually exists partly today.
Let's just Connor.
Okay, yeah, so I think there's you sort of asked, the first question I believe was around how do we think about voice and bringing voice into our HoloLens and our HMD experiences. Right now, that's not obviously directly integrated, but there certainly is. Like Cortana is available, accessible, and is part of the Windows mixed reality experience. So all of this is the benefit of Windows. We have a common core that scales across all of our endpoints. So whether it's an Xbox, whether it's a Windows PC, whether it's HoloLens, that there's a common core in Windows that is basically fueling all of those experiences. So that's what enables us to basically bring our voice stack and our audio experiences to all of those endpoints. Now I think you were pushing a little bit on a question on if you wanted to integrate cognitive services and voice services into your experience, how would you go about doing that, and what's the business model associated with that? So I'm going to pass off to the business folks here.
Please. What I would say is, sorry, go ahead.
My humble suggestion, maybe you can combine Windows 665 bundle together, and it will be good deal, because right now it's contra deal. For the Office Windows 365, maybe you can bundle your voice service together and send to end user like a signed contract.
That's actually great. That's good feedback. I like the feedback, and I think what we've seen with some of the services that we work with, whether it's with a hardware partner or a solution provider or a traditional ISV, is there's actually many choices of business models you can have. If you think back to how we used to do personal navigation devices, where you would build a device and that device may come free with map updates for a period of time, and that was a business model that that particular device maker would choose. They would pay a license fee for map updates, for example, and then they would charge a customer a specific price, and that price would include the updates. Maybe at some point in time, the customer would then, at the end of that service period, would update the maps, or would be, go to a personal update. But I think that's the beauty of our model, which is, particularly with our device partners, they can choose the business model. They can choose to have a period of time with a service. They could even have a freemium service. It could be included for the life cycle of the device. They could transact with us, or even at a point in time the customer can transact as part of a service. I like where you're going with how we think about the solution bundles and how we should think about different cognitive services included in devices that may be part of our subscription, and that's definitely the direction we would probably consider if a partner wanted to do that for that device.
No, I think that's a good answer. Today, cognitive services.
Microphone,
sorry.
please. Thank you.
Today, cognitive services are part of the AI platform, and so it's a part of the regular Azure consumption model. But in terms of how we're bringing solutions together, both horizontal solutions and vertical solutions, there's work there that we're doing now to look at what's the best way for us to be able to offer that and bring those pieces together for the variety of scenarios that we were talking about earlier today. So we're in nascent stages there, so feedback is good. I agree, it was good feedback. And it's stuff that we're working on. So right now, as I said, it's a part of the AI platform, and that's the way that you get access to the cognitive services.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. Thank you. Our staff.
Hi. I'm Mark Hawken with PC World in the US, and question for you, Ryan, if you don't mind. So you guys are choosing Windows 10s for your always connected PC devices, and we've done some testing on it, like one in my bag. I mean, they're fantastic from a battery life standpoint. They struggle a little bit in the app standpoint. Yeah. So my question is this. So according to net market share, Microsoft Edge is about, I believe it's 4% market share. Most people prefer Chrome, which has 60% market share, but Windows 10s doesn't allow you to run Chrome. So how do you sort of rectify the fact that people want to use Chrome, but the operating system doesn't allow it? I mean, how is that platform going to survive and thrive without that freedom of choice?
Yeah, no, so it's a good question, and actually I think this is something that, quite honestly, we've been learning a little bit about. You will have noticed that there was a shift from us for how we first started to talk about Windows 10s, and we've actually now are talking about it as S mode. It's actually a mode in the Windows experience, and you can switch out of that mode for free with literally 2 clicks to then experience your full Windows experience. And so if you desperately desired Chrome, you could, with 2 clicks, switch out of S mode, move into your full Windows experience, and then you could go and download the Chrome experience. Now, what I would say is, Edge has a number of benefits when you actually look at the performance of the browser, the battery life of that browser, as well as the security work that it provides. It actually takes advantage of a bunch of our advanced security technologies, and so to kind of containerize the experience. So to me, what I would like is I would like people to start in S mode. I feel like this is the most modern way that you can experience a device, and it brings you app experiences through the store, and if you experience that and live in that world, I think you start to get the best performance out of your device, and you always have the flexibility if there's something that hasn't provided where you can switch out and have your full Windows experience. But that comes with the benefit of Win32, and we all know the pros and cons of that space.
Question, please. Thank you.
I'm Eric from Economic Daily. Can I use the Mandarin? 我们今天有推出了那个 Collaboration Display。那我比较好奇，就是说这跟我们原本的那个产品线 Surface Hub 会怎么样形成区隔？这样子，谢谢。
So today we announced the collaborative display. So the question is how we will position that versus Surface Hub.
Yeah, so Surface Hub is actually a very specific SKU of Windows. And that SKU of Windows creates an experience that puts you in a very specific shell. It enables multi-user experiences so that you can kind of log into the device and get access to things that you need. And then probably the primary difference is it can very quickly be wiped and reloaded to reboot to a clean state. So when the next person comes up and experiences that device, they can log in and turn it into their own. I see that as one of the collaboration devices on a continuum. That is a quite premium, expensive piece of hardware that has the full computer and all the processors are integrated into it. Think about it as a giant, 80-inch all-in-one. What we announced today, I think, is a great stepping stone to being able to have a more entryway of sort of democratizing that experience. And so you have, it's the power of your PC through USB Type-C. You can plug in. That's what enables us to do this simultaneous ink and touch, that you can use it on your device, but you can also use it up on the collaboration display. And it's quite honestly, I think, a very interesting way for companies to think about their spaces and create a broader range of price points to bring that technology to bear. It's also less intense, I think, to think about how you engineer your conference rooms to be able to hang a display versus have a full-blown integrated PC on your wall.
All right, any other questions to other speakers in the front? Okay, please, thank you. Thank you.
I'm Jeff Spencer. I work for Microsoft for the Asia News Centre in Singapore, so I come up here. It's been very entertaining. I just want to ask a very broad question about how all these announcements and these developments are playing in Asia, and what do you see the role of Asia both in the development of new technologies and also in the consumer space and in the enterprise space?
Right, it's a big question.
I think we've had an incredible and continue to have an incredible relationship with this region, whether it's Taiwan, whether it's the whole Greater China region, and so much of our innovation, particularly on the intelligent edge, has always been in this area. So this is very much a center for global innovation, whether it's our lab in Shenzhen, whether it's our partnerships across Greater China in terms of supply chain, whether it's our partnerships in Taiwan. So we would see so much of our new technology, particularly in the intelligent edge, will actually start here and deliver worldwide. The other thing is, as we look at our opportunity, there is so much device innovation here that is yet to be connected and is yet to be secure. So actually there's an opportunity that we've got both with Azure Sphere as well as Azure and AI to connect a huge amount of the innovation that's built in the region to the cloud, that brings new business models, the ability to make really economic value of that device through its life, as well as continue to add value to a device that's connected. So I would say we see a lot of our innovation starting here, particularly on the edge, and we see value that we can add to existing businesses as well as create new businesses here. I think it would be a real driver for economics.
I was just going to say, I'm excited because I feel like certainly for me, a large part of our collaboration here began with PCs. And we've actually now been starting to infuse AI into those experiences. Like if you look at ink recognition, that's powered by an AI service in Azure. And if you look at now some of the things that we've even done with Azure Sphere, the idea that we're now able to bridge the relationships we have, the technology acumen that we have, and can bring that now to new device types, there's no better way to do it than through the really tight connection that we've had for 30 years and what we've been doing together.
I'd even add, when we built the first Azure Sphere chip, we came here to Taiwan to do it with MediaTek.
Well, sorry.
And what do you see as the potential here for, you were talking about security, for instance, that was a huge thing.
Well, we see an ecosystem that is very eager to deliver the products that customers need, right? And customers need secure products.
We actually engaged with a lot of partners in Shenzhen about 4 or 5 years ago. Primarily at the time we started with tablets and PCs. But if you actually today you go to Shenzhen again, you will see actually a lot of these OEM, ODM, or individual design houses actually move more than just B2C to more IoT devices. And some of them actually they're building solution B2B2B or B2B or B2B2C. Actually that ecosystem is really flourishing right now. And also on top of that, you can talk to people like Xiaomi, some of the new emerging device company. They actually talk about how to infuse AI into all the devices of the consumer. Or you talk to somebody like Haier, like how to build the intelligent edge into all the white goods. And also like Ken, like he talked about a lot of the big multi-million-dollar machinery, how they're using AI inside machines so that you can do a lot of improve the efficiency of the machine. So actually, there's so many opportunities in here. And as I've said before, China is one of the biggest manufacturing base in the world, not just in Asia. So I'm seeing like this is going to be a big opportunity for Microsoft, yeah, and the ecosystem as well. Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay, due to the time limit, one last question, please.
Jim Chow from Hong Kong Economic Times. And towards this may be a question for Nick. Towards the end of your keynote, you mentioned about privacy issue, and actually privacy become a hit topic this year and again this week. And actually, what can and what should Microsoft and the partners do to protect consumer privacy in the age of AI and also yes.
Well, and Microsoft has been very focused on GDPR. We just had announced, and we actually were one of the few vendors that participated in Belgium recently around GDPR. And we're actually not just doing that from a consumer perspective. We are also helping enterprises to do that for their customers as well. So we have extended the approach that we've taken around GDPR in the protection, so not just we really applaud what the EU is doing and we're extending that. I would say from an AI perspective, one of the things that we talked about just very little at Build in May was this work that we're doing around private AI. And so if you imagine healthcare solutions and things like that, where you want part of the ability to have these AI models and train them with data from around the world is to actually be able to transmit that data and train the model with it. But you want to be able to do that in a private way. And so we are working on something we're calling right now private AI, which allows the data to be encrypted. It trains the model. So even when you actually get the results on the model, you don't have access to see what data actually trained that model. And so that's the kind of work that we're doing within Microsoft Research that we'll be productizing pretty soon. That's stuff that we're working on with Dr. Harry Shum's organization in research. And so there's a lot of areas like that where we will be participating in a way that was probably unimaginable just even a few years ago.
Okay, and thank you very much for Nick, Rowan, Mitra, Galen, Isaiah, and Ken. And thank you for joining us. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.